So now I have started the recording too. So let's start our class today. Uh, we will start from liquidity pools. Okay. So like this is our liquidity pool. Price moves in a like small place. Like from here it goes like this is our zone, and it is just going up and down in the zone, not breaking any high or low. So in this case we don't have to trade here. Means we have to look for either a break from upside or a break from downside. When we got a break from upside or downside, we will target the another high, means another high or low. If the market breaks from the low, then we will target this liquidity, the upper one, this. And if it breaks from the higher high, then we will target this liquidity. So any doubt or anything you want to say to me?
Not yet, from my side.
Okay. Okay. No. So what we will look at is we will look at for the uh, to the last class recap, a small recap to the last class, those who were not able to join yesterday. So just a recap for them, and then we will start our class like this. So we can see, let me delete this. So this is our first diagram, and I will show you another diagram of liquidity pool in USD CHF after that. Okay, so let me just delete it. Like so, this is our zone. Means this is the liquidity pool. This is the low of the liquidity pool. Where's the low? This is low, and this is high of our liquidity pool. So what we see is we see a break of structure to upside or liquidity sweep from the buy side liquidity. So we will mark this as a break of structure. Okay, so now the upper liquidity buy side liquidity sweep. Now what we have to target is the lows, the next liquidity which is sitting below the liquidity pool. So what we will do is we'll go to a shorter time frame, like 1 hour. We will look for confirmations there. Like in 1 hour, we can see a break of structure here. Either in 15 minutes, you can see a lot of break of structure, like one break of structure here, the another one here. This is for the 15-minute zone. The another one here means whenever a demand or something is means break, like here is path. So yeah, like this, if the market is moving up, so and some rectangles down here. This is our demand zone. This is our demand zone. This is our demand zone. So whenever we see a break of structure, if the market respects the zone, then the market is still bullish or is following the trend. If the market breaks this low, that is our demand. It is called a break of structure. Sorry, like this. So here we see a break of structure of our demand where we were looking for buys, it is breakdown. This is how a valid break of structure, this how it looks. So another thing I want to tell you guys is uh, this thing I didn't tell yesterday. So if you look something like this in the Euro USD chart, I think so there is a candle like this in 1 hour time frame, or I don't know. So it looks like this. So here we can see a liquidity sweep. Okay, a liquidity sweep here. So this is a good zone where we see a liquidity sweep. This is a strong zone, means it swept all the liquidity from the buy side and then went down. So what we will look is now wait for this zone. Wait for this zone, either look for confirmation or something like that, and then we target our new lower low. This is break of structure, okay? And doubt till now, do you guys have any doubt?
No, bro. Like I only have one doubt. Like if the trend is bearish
Okay,
and market is creating a liquidity pool,
okay,
so we only have to look for sells, or we can also look for buys if the like trend is bearish and market is creating a liquidity pool.
okay. So what happens is something like this. You are saying that the market is bearish and it sweeps the liquidity from below and then goes up for the liquidity. You are saying like this.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
So like,
So
can we look for buys here, or we will avoid this?
yeah, you can look for buys. I can say that mm, something like this. The market is bearish from upside
Mm-hmm.
and it sweeps the liquidity from below. Okay.
Hmm.
So now what we got is our supply zone is here. Okay.
Hmm.
And what we will look is this is the liquidity pool. This is liquidity pool. It sweeps the liquidity from below. We can see a liquidity sweep or break of structure to downside. Okay.
Hmm.
Now we go to the shorter time frame. Go to the smaller time frame. We will look for a break of structure here. Means some confirmations that gave us uh, that the market will go up and sweep this liquidity. So like we got a break of structure in the lower time frame, and then we will enter from our new demand there, and then we will target this one, this supply, not the not till the means break of supply. We will target this supply. Like in the shorter time frame we see a break of structure here. Our demand is like our demand is like just this. So you will look for buys from here till the supply, and then what you will do is wait for the market to either to break this supply. That means the trend is changed. Otherwise, what is what it do will you will close your position here, and then you will look for some confirmations on this zone, this supply, like a break of structure here, and then you will enter and target the next move. Okay, so this is the thing where you have to focus.
Okay, okay.
Got my point?
Yes, bro.
Okay, I will show you some live example too after this. So this was a break of structure. Either in 15 minutes you can see a lot of them. Somebody, yeah, just go on. Go on.
I have a question.
Liquid. Okay.
Okay, what I want to ask is that if the liquidity pool is created in one edge, like 1 hour time frame, and the same liquidity pool we are seeing in 4H time frame. So we will consider the 1 hour time frame or the 4H time frame.
Okay, liquidity pool can also be created in 15 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
in 1 hour or 4 hour. It
Yes.
doesn't matter. So wait for the means if you see a liquidity pool in like 4 hour or 1 hour, then you will wait for sweep from either one side. Then you will look for confirmations in 15 minutes. If you see a if you see a liquidity pool in 15 minutes, then you will look for demand or supply. You will find your demand or supply like this. Uh, Someone entered admit. So you will look for what you look for is something like this, old demand like this, and this would be our from here. This would be our supply. This would be our demand, like somehow like this. Then you will look either to whenever market, uh, you will look for means to tap either your supply or demand zone. The thing where it tapped in, it is in the 15 minute. Okay, you don't need any confirmations in 15 minute if you see a liquidity pool in 15 minutes time frame. So you will enter directly from this zone to this low to this demand. Okay.
Okay, you mean that if something like this happen, we will enter without any confirmation and targeting the lower side liquidity, like the sell side liquidity
Yeah,
from the
that
supply zone.
this is only valid for the 15-minute time frame, because in 15-minute time frame if
Mhm.
you see a small liquidity pool, we don't need much confirmation because 15 minute is also
Okay,
you can
but
say. Yeah,
what if there is a liquidity pool in 15 minutes and it's like it's getting prolonged, and the same liquidity pool we are now seeing in 1H as well, and it's if it's prolonged more, we can see it in 4H as well. So we will
yeah,
consider
yeah.
the higher time frame.
So I will show you one example after this. Just wait for this. Okay.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so now what you say is that a breakout structure with a huge momentum that gives us a sign to that the market will target next downside liquidity. So now you will look for the zones down there. So this is a big zone. Okay, either you can use GAN box from here like this. It have the whenever you place an entry in GAN box, put your means entry just below, like if here, then you will oh shit, short, then you will place your entry right below your zone, like 1-2 pips like this. So either you can go with GAN box from here, otherwise you will see a small zones, one zone in 15 minutes like this, and the other zone is here. Other zone is here. Whenever you zoom it, it looks like this. This is an odd candle. Okay, so this would be our right zone, and then in 15 minutes you can see a break of structure to here too. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in 1 hour we got a new zone, and then we will enter from here, like from the shorts to the downside liquidity till here, because we can see a liquidity pool. No, here. This was a liquidity. Go to the bigger time frame. So like this, you will target this low till here. So this was a 8 ratio 55, 1 ratio 8.5 trade. Any doubts till now? This was for the students who didn't attend the class yesterday.
Okay, so to mark the demand or the supply, we need to mark the whole candle with the wicks or just the body.
Okay, so you can do is, where's the candle? Like here. Uh, if the supply or zone is too big, just select it whole and use can box for it. And like this, um, this think like this, that is our demand. Okay, you will mark it like this, the whole candle.
Okay, okay,
Yes. Either you can mark this zone too, but this only valid when this is a 1 hour time frame. Okay, what you will do is you will look for some confirmations in 15-minute time frame. Just go to, let me go to the 15-minute. This is just for telling, don't try it. Okay, means don't try it here on this demand. Find your demand like this. You will see a break of structure here, a break of structure, and then you will have your new demand here. You will enter it from this demand, and your stop loss right below your zone and target, whatever where is the liquidity is. Okay,
okay. So you mean if the candle is small and we are in a smaller time frame, so we will consider it directly, or if the candle is bigger, so we will use the GAN box and 0.5%, like 50% of it, right?
yeah, this only valid when there is something, a bigger zone, or you don't have any, like this candle, this one candle, the bigger one.
Yeah.
You will select the whole candle and use GAN box in it. If the candle is too big, like this. If the
Perfect.
candle is small, like this one, either you can say this. This would be a good demand. Either this is a liquidity, but I just told you that how to mark demand.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. And for more, if you look in the 1 day time frame, either you can select all this demand. Okay, just for the, you can select this demand. Just wait for supply. Sorry, this is supply. You will select it, and then this is a 1 day time frame. You will look for confirmations in like I think so 30 minutes, or a break of structure in 30 minutes. Like whenever the demand is tapped, there's a small little like this, because break of structure, and then you will target whatever where is the liquidity is. I just told you, don't try this supply. This is just I marked.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Which time frames do we consider, like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1H, 4H, and 1 day, if I'm not wrong?
So for 1 hour, so for 4 hour, you will look for break of structure in 15 minute, and your zone would be in either 4 hour or 1 hour. And for one
Hmm.
hour, you will look for either for confirmations in 5 minutes, but I will suggest you to look confirmations in 15 minutes. It likes the same. 15 minute is used as a good confirmation time frame.
And if we have a demand zone or supply zone in 1 day, then we will have to see in 30 minutes, right?
Can you repeat it?
I'm saying if the demand or supply zone is of 1 day time frame, then we
Yeah.
have to see the break of structure in 30 minutes, right?
Okay. Yeah, so that's good confirmation.
Okay,
You see a
thank you.
break of structure in 30 minutes, that a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So now here is another liquidity pool. Okay, let me just delete it. I will now teach you how to mark this zone. Okay, this was one of my best trades I just took recently. So what happened was, let me go to go charting. This will help you better. Sorry, go charting and USD CHF. I will also post means more liquidity pools in the group after this. Means more examples of liquidity pool. So where's the liquidity here? Just go from here. Okay. So let's go to 4 hour like this. Okay. So first of all, you will see the higher high here. Okay. The break of structure. No. Where's the here? A break of structure to downside from here. Okay. And this is also a break of structure. This is also a break of structure. Okay. And this is high of this is high means this is the higher low of this break of structure, and this is the higher low of this break of structure, and another one is here. Let me just write it down. High. Okay, so what you will look for is you will look for some retracements from here. Just use the Fibonacci. Where's the setting? Turn this off, turn this off. This should be 0.79. 0.79. So that's all, I think so. Just on this, and this too. So now what you will look is you will look for a supply zone above the 50%, means above. Here is our 50%. Let me just delete it. I think so. Somebody, your screen is freeze. Is everybody able to see my screen?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
everything is fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes, fine.
I think so. Just leave the meeting and join again. Try
He
it.
already left.
Yeah. He joined it.
Yeah.
I think so. It would work now. Is it working? Means the screen is going on.
Yes, yes. Working.
Okay. 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 So what you will look for is you will look for 50% retracement from here to here. So this was the 50% zone. Let me just delete it. Okay, just so we have 3 to 4 zones here. Okay, one zone is like this. Either you can select whole this zone or just simple this zone. But I will suggest just wait for this zone and look for some confirmation down there. Another zone is we are having one zone here. Means just select all the zone or something like this. Okay, and this is liquidity. If you see it carefully, liquidity, and this is not means this is below our 50% retracement. So why I chose this means this zone, because if you see in 1 hour time frame, you will see the exact situation I showed you. Like it created liquidity down here and then swept it and then went out. I told you before, and this is a good supply, and this is also liquidity. If you see in 1 hour, this is liquidity. So any doubt of this zone, means how I mark this zone. This is a good strong zone. Adarsh Patel. Oh, okay. Do you have guys any problem of this zone? Why I mark, means how is this, how it is a strong zone? No.
Kindly repeat it
Yeah.
once again if you can.
Okay. Okay. So like this. So what happens is, just leave the Fibonacci here. Let me. So what happened was, it came from the upside. It created some liquidity like this, and then cleared the liquidity and then went down like this. It created a liquidity sum here and then went up, cleared it, and then went down. This is a good supply. Is
Perfect.
it okay? So this kind of zone is a very good zone, because if you look, there was a like a liquidity pool too. I mean, a smaller time frame, 15 or 30 minutes. A liquidity pool, it swept from upside and then went downside. So for those who were joining late, they can watch the video. I have started the recording too, and it has voice too. And after this class, I will be attending one-on-one with each student. Okay, just ask me after this class, whoever is free and have any doubts. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So we got our two zones. Either we will wait for this zone or this zone. So let's start our concept. Let me just go to I am free and will have to ask something. Okay, okay, okay. I got you, I got you. Are you in the live class? Means this guy. I don't. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, okay. Let's go to a smaller time frame. So we will look for some, either from a, means if this tapped here, means the supply, look for some confirmations, tie it down. But now we are looking at liquidity pool. I will show you the liquidity pool concept. Just wait for the liquidity pool to form. Okay, so here's the liquidity pool. Okay, replay and go here. Either this is a 15-minute liquidity pool too. You can say that, like a liquidity pool here. Okay, first it started from here, a small liquidity pool, and then it went bigger,
And
and
can I
then
ask you
it,
something?
yeah, go on.
Yeah, so I was just asking, like, uh, in the real market when like it's making the higher and higher lows. So that time, how we'll know that this is making a liquidity pool or just a trend? So basically, it's a consolidated market, right?
Yeah, so like whenever a market is making liquidity pool, you will see that this is,
So basically, it's in the market is just moving in the swing.
yeah, this is, means this
Oh,
is the high, this is the low, means
okay.
after that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so this was our, sorry, this was here, this was our high, means the high, I don't, and this was the low, or you can say that this was the low. Okay, So the next low is here. So this was the next low, okay, and it went down, and this was the low, and then it started moving inside these two zones, between low and between high. So what happens is a lot of uh, traders enter here, they just trapped in. They are uh, most of them are looking for buys and most of them are looking for sells. So what happens, it traps here. Somebody joins here, its stop loss is here, and then somebody's joined here, its stop loss head down or whatever it is. We will wait for sweep from one side. We will wait for either to break this low or break this high. So what you will do is, it is a 1 hour, well, you can also say 15-minute liquidity pool. Delete it, delete it. So we got our one demand right below our zone, like this, or you can mark this too. But what I would prefer is use this demand. Or we have also a demand right below, like from here. But you can see it's already mitigated. Okay, this demand is already mitigated. So the next demand is, this demand is good. This is also mitigated. And you can also see a demand right below. Just let me zoom in. So we had one demand here. It is mitigated. And one demand here. This is how you can find the correct zones. Just mark them and see which is mitigator, which is not, which will work and which will not work. So this was also a good demand because it swept liquidity. Liquidity sweep. It swept liquidity, same as I told you here. It was going up and created some liquidity and then swept it. This was a good demand, that's why it tapped it. So this is also a good demand. You can say that like here it swept liquidity, and this demand is also good. So after this demand, here was also an imbalance. If you just check it, after liquidity sweep, we have one demand here, and the other demand means the imbalance above our demand. This is how you will be marking zones. This will help you to be more
Excuse me.
perfect or to more refined zones.
Uh, I wanted to ask something.
Yeah.
Would you have also marked the demands on the leg that went from the first low of the liquidity sweep you have marked?
Yeah, you can
This,
mark that. If you can mark that demand. This is not
no,
the
not
leg.
that one.
This
I'm
is the
saying
leg.
the
Okay, this
no
is
the
the
left
leg.
one. No, left side
Left
of the
side.
marking.
This leg.
No,
This
above
one.
that.
This one.
No, the right side low. Yeah, that one. From that area, would you have marked demands before
No,
knowing what happened
this is
afterwards?
a good demand. This is a good demand. Okay, because it you can see a big candle. You can see a big candle. This was just an imbalance right above our demand. Right above our demand. So this can't be okay. This will be because here was a good imbalance. Here was a
Alright,
good
alright.
imbalance right down there.
Got it.
So now what we look for is, we can see liquidity here, liquidity there too. Either we will wait for this demand to tap or this supply to tap, okay? Because there was no proper supply. This was a proper supply. This was liquidity and here was the supply. So let's see what happens. This was the liquidity pool. Like here. And I think so. Here was some news, FOMC news, like here, when it cleared the liquidity pool. So if you just look at it properly, so like this, the price is right above our demand. Okay, it hasn't tapped our demand. It hasn't tapped our demand. Just few pips away, and it doesn't tap our demand. It went upside and then came down. This is how liquidity pool works. And doubts? So what happens was you can enter directly from here because no, if there was no news, it will give some breakout structure. Let's see in 15 minutes if there was some confirmations. So yeah, there was the same liquidity pool to here till here. We can see two liquidity pools. Okay, so what happens was there was no confirmation. You need a proper experience for it. This is breakout structure and mark the zone right like this, but it hasn't entered demand. So just leave it like I told you how to mark the demand and supply. Okay, this
So
was
if
a fast
something
movement
happened,
due to news. This was a fast movement due to news. I traded this. How it looks like is this. So yeah, here was also confirmations, boys. If you where's the so let us mark this zone. I think so. It is vanished down there. It is vanished. Let's mark it and let's go to next. What happens? So yeah, it cleared a supply zone, but it was still in the 4 hour supply. It was still in the 4 hour supply. So let's see what happens next. It will go down. Yeah, it will go down. And we marked the supply there too. I think so. It will work. Sorry, demand. Yeah, this was a good demand. That's why it kept 2 times. This was mitigated, but it worked 2 times. Yes. Delete this demand. Delete this demand. This was a, and then if you will wait for each zone. Okay, you will wait for each zone like this. Here was the thing. I think so. There was no breakout structure in smaller time frame. I think so. 15 minutes and okay. So same liquidity pool concept. It broke our zone, and you can see a liquidity pool here. So what it does, it same liquidity here, or you can see a breakout structure. Then a sweep from the downside. Okay, breakout structure, sweep from downside, and then a sweep from upside. Means a breakout structures. Then what you will do is you got confirmations again. You got confirmations again to target this liquidity. This is a trend line liquidity. I and this was our demand zone. So yeah, this was a demand zone. Either it's mitigated, but it should work. Just keep it and It's mitigated, but it still works. This is how I gave you some examples of mitigated zones. So first of all, this zone was mitigated once here, and then it gave a break of structure down right there, and then still 15 minutes it mitigated zone works. So any doubt you guys have?
I have a question. Even though we use 1 hour in this case as demand, and we're going to 15 minutes. In, no, I want to ask, like, can I go to 5 minutes or just stay with the 15 minutes because it's significant
I think so
confirmation?
15 minutes is more accurate than 5 minutes, because the bigger the time frame is, the higher accuracy of the trade is.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So now what you will see is, so yeah, here is the second. Okay, boys. So we marked two supplies. Okay, this was the first supply and this was our second supply. See how it moved from that supply too. So now let's mark this supply. Now let's mark this supply and see what happens. So price started creating some liquidity down there. As you can see, a liquidity pool there too. This was a liquidity pool. This was our next supply. Tapped it and boom. This was what somebody joined. Extend call. Okay, I will extend it after this. So a liquidity or a break of structure to downside. This is also almost a liquidity sweep too. Let's go to the smaller time frame and check what is this. This is almost a this is almost a liquidity sweep or a break of structure. So this is how supply and demand works. Every supply and demand works. You just need to means find the correct zones. So first of all, we mark
I
this
have a
supply.
question.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so the recent supply you have marked in 4H time frame. So
Okay.
don't we need any sort of confirmations in 15 minutes or 30 minutes to enter in the selling trade, and we will target the liquidity pool and the downside liquidity of last low.
Okay, sometimes what happens is if the liquidity pool is so strong and there are too many sellers and too many buyers, it just taps our supply. I will show our demand and just went down without giving any confirmations with strong momentum.
Okay, so what you are saying is that we can enter from that zone directly without any confirmations of like break of structure or GAN box or anything else. But
Okay,
there are some
okay,
scenarios in.
yeah. What would
Okay.
I recommend is what I would recommend for something is this. If you see a liquidity pool here, okay, and this is our zone, this is a demand below, okay, I'm just marking it. So what you will do is just go with few lots with a smaller loss. If you like risk 1% per trade, just go with the 0.7 or 0.6% with stop loss off, means that just go with the smaller loss and enter directly, and after confirmation go on with the bigger lot. So if you hit your
Okay,
stop
perfect.
loss down there, means if you hit your stop loss down there, then that would not be a means bigger loss. So what you will look is, so first entry direct at the zone, then if it goes down it's good, then look for confirmations or break of structure, and then you can enter from the second means second entry. You can plan a second entry with a bigger lot.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. That's a good thing. I mostly try this. So what I do is, like, I entered directly from the zone with uh means a smaller lot. Then after confirmations, uh I go on with the bigger lot. which helps me to means just give it. If I miss the entry with confirmation, that will still give me some profits though. Okay, so if you can see, there was a supply in 1 hour too. There was a supply in 1 hour too. I think so. It will tap it, or either it can also means sweep it like this, because what we have is we have liquidity down there, liquidity there, and liquidity there too. So if you just see, there was some liquidity below this zone like this, liquidity, and the next liquidity is, I think so, there's no liquidity pending because the break of structure to downside. This is a liquidity to there, right? This zone, this is a liquidity. Okay, so you have, what you have to do is, your homework is, or you can say a practice to improve your skill is, go to a bigger time frame, go to a bigger time frame and find right demand zones, and first of all look for break of structures, like a break of structure here. Okay, and then use Fibonacci like to there. Okay, this is the low and here is another break of structure. Then go to a smaller time frame or go to 4 hour, mark some supplies like this, a supply above the 50%. Okay, above the 50%. So you can see that there was a supply, either take all this supply. Yeah, that will work, that will work. Okay, and see how it goes on, and how means, like you mark this zone, why it hasn't been tapped, why it hasn't. Okay, so here what happened was, here here was a supply. Okay, like this and till the up. So market just went to our zone but hasn't tapped it. We will consider it as liquidity, means this is the liquidity, and verb, the liquidity is our zone. So now let's go to something else, like this. Okay, so here was the high, or you can say that here was the high, and then it just went down. You can see a break of structure down there, either a break of structure in smaller time frame there too. This was the low, or this was the break of structure. This was the low because it hasn't means like, here was a 50% zone like this. Okay, let's just mark it. So like here, this was the high, this was the low. So above 50% you can see a large, means a large imbalance. You will use GAN box here, GAN box directly. So you can see it just tapped our 50% of the zone. Here is the 50 and this is our 50. So how, this is how you can trade big candles. You can take entries on big candles. In doubt?
Yeah, I have a doubt.
Okay, just
At the
go on.
recent zones you've drawn, yeah, here. So the topmost zone
The topmost zone, there's one.
is, yeah. So as you can see, the price tapped the zone, right?
Okay.
So it's a 4 hour zone. So why didn't we look for 30 or 50 minutes confirmation and entry on that zone
Okay.
when it
This
tapped
was
the
just a
topmost?
means. Yeah, I got you. I got you. This was just like a means, you guys, to tell you guys how, means how to mark zones, and how to means mark zones and something like this. So in the next live sessions we will be looking at those two. So first of all you guys have to practice this to mark your supply zones.
All right, got it.
Got it? This is just a small recap to the mentorship videos, which gives you the idea where to find supply zones and where to enter. So this was just you can whatever. So after these videos, after 2-3 sessions, we will look for first look find supply zones and then wait for break of structure or confirmations in smaller time frame that we can enter. You guys have to what you guys have to do is just look at just go to a bigger time frame like 1 hour or 4 hour to the past charts and find zones there and see if your zones work or not. Means like you mark 2-3 zones, like here I mark one zone and the second zone, this tabbed and this tabbed. So if you guys like mark a supply zone there, just means look at this, means like you mark the supply, try to find out why this supply didn't work, why this supply didn't work. Or if you guys can't find the answer, then just drop your question in the Telegram group. I will answer your question there. So just look at bigger time frames. Bigger time frames are the key. You find 4 hour supply, 1 hour supply, and then look for breakout structure. We will be looking at breakout structure in the next videos too. So do you guys have any doubt till now?
No.
Okay. Everybody means everybody in the group. Anybody having any doubt?
No, bro.
So, no, it's okay.
Okay. So this was how liquidity pool works. We will be looking at more accurate liquidity pools where you can enter and means just So I think so I can see a liquidity pool in Euro USD too just a few days ago. If I find one, then I will show you. Uh, liquidity pool, liquidity pool, liquidity pool. This was a liquidity pool here. I told you guys this entry before in the Discord live. This was a liquidity pool in 1 hour time frame. Oh no, smaller time frame, 15 minutes. And it swept liquidity from the upside and then went down. Trend changed. If I find one more, this was also liquidity pool I told you. So let's go to GBP USD chart. Yeah, I just forgot it.
Or maybe we can go with the gold, because the gold loves to make a lot of liquidity pools.
Yeah. Okay.
Funny stuff.
Just hold on. Just hold on. So
Okay.
we will not move directly to gold. Okay. So first of all, we will only look at major pairs, which gives uh, precise entries or means simple. Just first, just for now, make it remain simple. We will be looking at gold after you guys learned a lot. Means when you guys learned a lot, when you guys have enough experience to find zones, because gold is most volatile. So you can see a trend line liquidity here. This is a trend line, and here you can see that a smaller liquidity pool. Okay. So what you have to do is let's go to 4 hour. So let's mark. Okay. So this was a good because you can see a liquidity here, and then it swept liquidity like this. This was a good zone. This was a good zone. Let's mark like this in the 1 hour, 1 day. Where's 1 day? So like this. So this is a big candle, okay? Just use can box here. So 50% tapped and it went up. We'll look for confirmations in the next video. Or there was no confirmation at all, but I marked this zone. I marked this zone, but there was no confirmation I can find. I was looking for some entries from here to the to this high, but no, it just went without giving any confirmation. Sometimes what happens is a guy asks in Telegram group, so like this. So I have planned everything first. Like here is the 1 day supply. Okay, here is liquidity, and this is how you guys will plan for the future. So I have a better entry for you guys in odd USD. I think so. There was odd USD. Yeah, 4 hour time frame. Okay, there was an imbalance in 1 hour time frame. I marked it. So what I was waiting for is like there was liquidity here and here. Okay, it swept half of our liquidity sweep. So this was a good zone. Okay, I marked this zone, but what happened is it didn't tap my demand zone. So the reason was, let's go to 2 hour time frame. There was an imbalance in 2 hour. There was an imbalance in 2 hour because I showed you guys after after I can see that liquidity sweep there was imbalance, which can be another link incoming. Yeah, another link will come after this class. When this class overs, how much time is left? Oh shit. Just wait on. Yes. Oh no, another link coming. Yes, hold on.